I have got to make a video on the flu and bacterial issues going on. I've been avoiding it because it's so difficult. This stuff is so difficult this season. This is the 2017-2018 season, although it's applicable in theory to a lot of stuff. I've been through the flu and bacterial versions myself, or cold versions myself, and many of my clients have, and it's an ongoing recovery. And because it's so complicated and there's so many layers, I'm still going to share this with you because I keep seeing stupid reports of people dying, and I know why they're dying, but you don't need to die, all right? We don't need to die out there. Your kids don't need to die. This doesn't need to happen. It's difficult, but it's treatable if you know how to treat it. All right, so here's the thing. The flu version comes in as either vomiting and diarrhea, or fever and chills, and it makes you sick for acutely 2 days in the vomiting and diarrhea mostly, or 3 to 4 days in the fever and chills. It depletes. It's a pathogen. The virus goes down to, now these are all my observational spaces and my own experience too, having gone through it myself and still recovering. I first got sick with the flu December 20th symptomatically. Anyway, what it does, this virus goes in and it starts depleting your electrolytic balance, and once that's depleted, the kidneys start getting less functional, and then it affects the heart and the spleen and the liver, and then it goes to the brain, and it causes inflammation all over the place. And I'm not talking about meningitis in the brain or something like that. I'm talking about just inflammatory patterns and disruptions that are a lot like chronic depletion in the elderly, or the deficient. That's why children and the elderly are dying, because they don't have enough growth hormone to support their well-being. So this is what I found works on the flu, all right? So if you get the flu, remember, vomiting, diarrhea, a lot of people thought they got food poisoning if they only got a really short bout of it, but then they stayed tired for a long time, 2 weeks, 3 weeks more. And then, or the fever and chills, bone pain, and usually a big sadness release with that one. Baseline on this: you need to take a ton of vitamin C, orange juice, lemon juice. Orange juice with pineapple feels really, really good to the body too. Simple carbs and bone broth or regular soups are the only foods. If your kid or you feel like eating cereal and you're like, but you need some nutrients, get it to them some other way, because the body is in survival mode with that flu, and it just needs simple things. Salt, sugar, fat. It just wants the brain to be healthy and survive at that point. Be easy on your children with that. Don't think too much. So the baseline is vitamin C. You can take it in pill form. This is a 1,000 milligram one. It's about 2,000 milligrams a day for an adult. Seems to be right for this, alongside the orange juice. And this is going to be at least a week of that, and then take a maintenance dose. The other one is an electrolytic supplement. You can drink coconut water. A can a day ought to be enough. Or if you already take electrolytes and you still feel depleted, it's double the amount that you normally take of electrolytes. I use one that's by the Intelligent Elixirs, a company I use, but it has potassium, chloride, magnesium, and sulfate in it, as well as some other ingredients. It's a wonderful one. You can get little trace mineral supplements like this, electrolyte balances, from all kinds of health food stores. And they taste different, but you do need to double the amount for a couple weeks. It's at least 2 weeks consistent with those electrolytes, ongoing, or going through that whole cycle from onset, and then a maintenance dose after that. The other thing is that virus goes to the intestines, small or large intestines. I think it's mostly in the small intestines, but the large intestines is affected. There's a Chinese herbal formula I use called San Huang Xie Shin Tang, Coptis and Rhubarb, in the Evergreen collection. If you have a practitioner who uses this stuff, or if you want to go look for some online, or if you want to contact me, I'll drop ship it to you, I guess. I'll order from the company if you can't find it any place. But you need this. You don't need to be this sick. You have to kill off the pathogen, or guide the pathogen out, in the Chinese theory, out of the bowel. That's where it's going. That's where it's hiding, and it's causing all those deficiency. And the reason why it's so deadly is I believe it's the H3N3 strain of the virus, and it causes organ failure. So what happens after that? Because of the weird season we've had with all these natural disasters, we've had a whole bunch of bacterial load that changed in the environment. After the bacterial load changed, then what we had was an exposure after the viral We have this bacterial load, the weather changes, goes cold, snap, hot, but as in Houston, as over here, we got no sunshine. It's been going on and on. So the bacteria keeps mutating without the sun killing off its energy or its presence. Anyway, so viral's done. If you get the bacterial, it's presenting as an ear, nose, or throat pathogen. The way that it shows up is you'll either show up with kind of like wake up with a little bit of dry, itchy eye. You'll end up with a little bit of soreness inside your nose. If anybody in your family or you are experiencing those two symptoms, but you don't have any other symptoms, you're already infected. Treat it then, because you don't want this stuff. You don't want any of it. Or if you just have a little bit of a lump in the throat. Water in the ear is the other type of thing. It just feels a little bit like you're holding too much fluid. It likes to bury in these sinuses for some reason with this pathogen. Of course, a lot of people went to the ear, but it likes these sinuses more than the upper and lower. The thing I've been using for that is an herbal ear, nose, and throat formula that is an antibiotic, antiviral. Works amazingly well, but this stuff is persistent and keeps mutating, and it will recur if you got the virus first and your immune system's already compromised. It will recur 3 to 4 times easily. This is a 2.5 month recovery time at least, if not 3 months on this pathogen. What I have found is in the acute phase of a lot of bad symptoms with the ear, nose, and throat where you're extremely sore and painful, the sharp painful symptoms can last anywhere from 5 to 6 days. And you need just take some ibuprofen if you got to. Take some painkillers, acetaminophen, whatever, alongside the supplements to help facilitate the healing. What I did find is taking, of course, a zinc supplement. This is a zinc liver chelate by standard process. You can buy any zinc. I like the Garden of Life Alkalizer and Detoxifier as a baseline support, and the Garden of Life product that their zinc is their raw zinc. That's amazing for this. So those two combined with this pattern will start kicking this out quicker. This bacterial infection likes to detox your body of heavy metals. Don't be surprised if you get sinus and throat taste and stuff like that of metals, or little dots show up all over your skin, on your scalp, which is the common area, or down your arms whenever your body is pushing out unchelated minerals. It finally just pushes them out of there with this bacteria. So thank you, bacteria, for your job, but you're coming back too many times all at once. This is way too much healing at once. Anyway, what I did find that works better after you've had the first occurrence of the ear, nose, and throat, if you've been depleted by the flu, you combine a kidney yang tonic with it. So I've been using the kidney yang tonic by Evergreen, half-half, 2 and 2 instead of 4 and 4 individually. And as a maintenance dose, if I have any symptoms, or if my clients have any symptoms going on with that, if they're presenting that way, alongside the zinc, keeping up on electrolytes, maintaining, and watching for any recurrence of the viral, any dips in the body towards fever. Most likely, if you got the virus, you only got it once. After the virus and the first occurrence of the bacterial load, you will need to restore your organs. And you cannot tonify the organs quite so much in the beginning after the virus. You can give it a little bit of tonics like marrow soup and these bone broth types, or the organ supplements, the sweetbreads out of standard process is what I use. Or if you actually want to use organ meats, depending on what you're using. It's not a vegetarian path, but it is. It's better than, children dying and the elders dying. Anyway, and be careful with exercise on this one. You've got to back off and sit still and let your body recover. You will feel cycles of extreme weakness and need to sleep for 3 days at a time after thinking you were done resting and recovering. So keep up the restoration. The kidney yang tonic was the most helpful thing I've used personally, alongside now the hardcore restorations. Omega-3 fish oils, I use standard processes 2-1, and also an adrenal. They're desiccated adrenal. You got to restore the adrenals. This tore the kidneys down first with that virus, and then you got to fight that battle with the immune system's tired. It's tired. Now bacteria came in, it's exhausted. The kidneys are tired. They need help. So that's where the adrenal help comes in. And then their green food, a green food supplement. You can make this in the form of a shake, such as a blend of all kinds of green vegetables and whatever else, cruciferous, everything, beets, roots, all that good stuff, the tonics. But add wheatgrass, cilantro, spirulina, chlorella, and orange and pineapple juice. Oh man, they're all all just beautiful. Banana, those were all very, very helpful. And blueberries. The last thing in that arsenal was the Diaplex. And Diaplex is an organ supplement made for diabetics. What do the diabetics have? Symptomatic. They have a deficiency with excess, meaning that this supplement covers all the baseline of what this virus and bacteria did to everybody's body. It restores the organs and gets rid of inflammation by doing so. And that's what this does. This stuff is scary. Clean this stuff out. Don't take things that are going to deplete you. Don't drink any alcohol. It's not going to work. Don't work out hard. Everything's crazy. You're gonna feel exhausted and weird stuff in your lymphatic system around your heart, and weird low back pain, bone pain in your legs, dry eyes, blurry vision. It's ridiculous. Chronic dry throat, sore throat. It's gonna rear its head up and down all over the place. Let me know if you need me. I don't want you to suffer. If you need supplements, recommendations, or you need help finding a practitioner in your area, I will let you know. And if you happen to stumble across my video and don't know what I do, I practice Chinese medicine, thus the herbs and all the other stuff. If you want to, send me a picture of your tongue. Good luck to you all.